Welcome back, SaaS owners, agency owners, to all my hustlers. In this video, I'm going to show you how one of our clients, which is a French low-ticket SaaS this time, got his first 1K in a new MRR, basically like 24 hours after launching the campaigns. So I'm just going to show you like what's behind the curtains inside all of this. So the copywriting, the list building, what kind of tools we're using. So potentially you can get the same results. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. So let's dive right in. I'm just going to show you my screen so I can show you like all of the details. So first of all, let's just get into some results. So basically we are today, the Saturday, 18th of May, and we launched the campaign 3 days ago. So on Thursday, we launched it. The first day we booked 16 calls, and the day after we booked 8 calls, which is, so just showing you the number. I can't go into Google and like refresh because there's some confidential data, because this is in my client's CRM. But basically you just have to believe me on this one. Which is really interesting though, is the amount of volume we did to get these numbers, which is absolutely crazy. We have only sent 312 emails, so probably like 200 prospect, and we booked 24 calls with 22 reply rate. So 40. So basically we sent 312 emails. We got 40 positive replies and 24 book calls, which is absolutely mad. It means that for one out of every like 7 to 10 person, the guy booked a call with us, which is like crazy numbers in cold email. And it's just making me rethink like the whole approach. For a long time, I was really thinking it's a numbers game. It still is. But this is just to show you, like, if you really like personalize crazily, because I'm going to show you what we did, then your ratio of people contacted to the amount of book calls is mad. Like some people will never book 24 calls, even after sending 10 of thousands of emails. And we just did it with a pool of people that is so small. So pretty crazy. Now I'm just going to give you more details. So basically, yeah, his ticket size is pretty low. It's a $50 MRR plan, and he has a closing rate of over 90%. So you do the numbers, 50 times 24 with a 90 closing rate. This is 1K in MRR right after the campaign, like I told you, and he can close so high because his offer is a no-brainer. So yeah, he got to 1K MRR like straight after the launch. I can only imagine what it's going to be at the end of the year, once we even go like with better results and above this more results. So I'm just going to talk to you a bit about the client. So because you can have the best like outreach, etc. possible, the one big factor to take in account is the SaaS, the business behind it. It still needs to be good. So just to give you some ideas, like if you're running a SaaS or you're thinking of doing a SaaS, here's about my client. So basically, he developed a platform. So it's a simple website, and to centralize invitation to tender in the B2B space. So you just have to think a bit of it as a Upwork. So basically, Upwork, you've got someone looking for services. I need someone to build me a website, and you've got a provider who is able to do the website. And usually, the pricing ticket, like the deal ticket inside of this, would be usually from $10 to $1,000, $5,000. I would say like a big majority of deals made in Upwork are in the few hundreds of euro. This is the same he's doing, but for the big B2B companies where the deal size is more like hundreds of thousands or not millions. So it's the same thing. It's just one platform that connects someone asking for service with providers, but at a very large scale, but for a very like a big companies, for big, really like big delivery projects. So it can be like creating an e-commerce store for one of the FTC 500 company, which is going to be like probably a 500,000 contract. It can be building like a supply chain tool for a massive company. It's basically like just projects for massive company. And he created the website because before this, at the moment, I work in a consulting firm, so I know a bit how it works. It's very like one-to-one. It's like people have their own network and they talk to one person. It's like it's not very like centralized. There's not like this one website that everybody knows and which is able to connect the link between the providers and people asking for services. So that's it in terms of of context for the client. And obviously this is like a pretty clear value, so it's interesting. But what is more interesting is how he onboards people into his platform, which is absolutely genius. So now about the collaboration, I reached out to him, cold email, and it went very fast, which was a very smooth process, how I like it. I usually do a two-step closing process. I got him on the first closing, first call. We said we were going to work together because he knew exactly what he wanted. He actually was educated about cold email at first and understand it would be good for him to do. And he just saw like I was the right guy to do so. So it went really fast. The only issue we had is that he was a low ticket SaaS, and at our company, we usually like do a charge per call. So we charge like something like $100, $200, $300 per meeting, but his lifetime value for his client is between $500 and $600. So we still want him to see a big ROI. And so above this, his expectations, he said, okay, we need to book at least 25 calls the first month. And I was like, whoa, like it's possible, but at the first month, like we don't know your offer. Like we need to test your offer. We need to test your ICP and see how the market reacts to this. So we're like more like, yeah, we're going to work together, but let's set the right expectation, and we can do like 5 to 10 maybe book calls. At the end, we agreed like, okay, 10 book calls, 15 book calls. So we agreed on this. And for the pay-per-performance, actually, this is one of our unique clients. We did a flat fee only because the performance deal didn't make any sense for him. So we said we do flat fee until we book 25 calls for him, and then we will discuss the pricing. Like you've seen in the results, actually the results came way more faster than I could have expected. In basically 2 days, it was done. I don't know how many calls we're going to book at the end of the month. And please notice he's the only guy working at the company, so he's taking all the sales calls by himself. Hopefully I will try at the end of the month to get him on a one-to-one talk, so he has a really cool background. He worked in a big consulting firm, so he has some interesting stuff to talk about. Basically, so that's about the collaboration, just to give you like a bit of context on how things work. Now, concerning the setup and what is interesting for you if you're looking to do the same thing. So we did cold email because cold email, obviously, if you're new to this, it's pretty cheap and it's the most effective way to find some clients. I've done a whole video on which acquisition channel you should do when you're running a SaaS run agency. Compared it to all the other big one, advertising, inbound content creation. You can look into this also with taking the prices variable in count. So infrastructure, we've built all of this using a smart lead, which I recommend the tool. It's pretty amazing. So we set up 10 inboxes in smart lead. 1 inboxes equals 25 email a day, 10 times 25, 250 emails a day. Basic stuff. It sounds pretty low, but looking at the ratio of people contacted to booked meetings, it's well enough to do what we're doing at the moment. List building. So this is where it starts. This is where like we can explain why we got some great results, because we just did everything at 90, 100% correctly. So list building, we went into very specific niche. So companies building websites in web design and web development in France. So to do this, we use Clay. So Clay is a pretty powerful tool. And to find the companies, because if you already did some list building before, you cannot, it's not an industry. Web design is not an industry. Marketing agencies is an industry. Web design is not. So it's pretty hard to filter like very specific people inside an industry. And to do so, there's different tools you can use. One is Clay. And so basically we use a description, which is going to be matched by ChatGPT. Company specializing in web development and design. And basically it found us pretty accurate company doing this. So we use Clay, and we also use Ocean.io, which you input a website of one of the clients you would like to work with, and it's going to gather you a very similar website. So it just makes it way easier. You don't have to mess up with any filters. You just put let's say apple.com, and it's going to give you like samsung.com, philips.com, like lots of competitors. And the more website, the more initial inputs you put, you can do this, and the more like accurate it's going to give you a pool of other websites. So this was for the list building. If you want to like have more information on this, there's lots of content on YouTube. I've also made a video myself showing you, like sharing my screen, showing you exactly how you can build some lists using Clay, using Sales. And so copywriting. So copywriting is a step number 2. So the good thing is the more targeted your list of leads is going to be, the easier for you it's going to be to write a message afterwards to one specific people. So we knew we're going to target people who are specialized in creating website. This makes it so much easier for us to then have an approach that is very qualified. Instead of talking to all the marketing agencies, we're talking to people building websites. So we can give the sensation of having a very crafted, like personalized message. So my client is very restrictive about what I'm allowed to show, because obviously he doesn't want the people to steal his sauce. I can only show you a bit. So basically, we're contacting like a web design company. We're saying we like their expertise in web design. Really simple, give a compliment, and it always work. And then we're saying we have an opportunity that might correspond to you. Fortunately, I can't tell you more about it, but basically it's saying, we know what you do. We know you're good at what you're doing. And based on this, we have some things that might be interesting for you. So this is just like it differentiates so much than all the other emails they're receiving. So yeah, we mentioned like we have an amazing opportunity for them, which is the case. We actually have a good opportunity, which is also why like the offer is the most important stuff. Like what we're offering for them is crazy. And then like we have this amazing offer. This is what I want to talk about, is why did we get some great results with this company? Like why were we able to book so many calls at so low volume so fast? Is because his offer is very strong. Like he has a very low commitment on the other side. So basically for people to start working with him, it's only $50. You only have to pay $50 and you get access to like potentially multi-$1,000 dollars, multi-hundred of thousand deals by people looking for their services just by signing up to this platform. So very low commitment, very with a very high return on investment. So always think of this when you're building your SaaS, you might have an amazing product. Like I've worked with the SaaS that what they're providing is very good, but they don't think too much about how am I easily gonna onboard people and make my offer so good, which is probably as important as what you're delivering in the second place. So yeah, he started with some amazing foundation and we just leveraged this all through the process of like, okay, you have this amazing offer. I'm the right guy to help you leverage this doing cold email. And we're going to leverage this all through the different steps. So list building, we're going to look at very targeted people who might be interested by this offer. Copywriting, we're going to do something super targeted. And then just the results speak for themselves. So that's it for this video. If you would like to get more information, feel free to check my other content. If you would like us to do the same for your company, you're looking to scale, maybe you've got a great SaaS already, but you're just looking to hit the next level, we can definitely have a call with you to see where you're at. And if you're at the really like beginning level, you're launching your business, you're at the early stage, we actually starting helping a few people on coaching call, where we build an offer for you and we build a list of ICP. So we build you an offer, we tell you exactly who you should contact, and then you have the solid foundations to start scaling and doing more. So that's it for this video. Hopefully you got some added value and some ideas for your business. That being said, I'll see you in the next one.